Did you hear about the girl who was shot for going to school? In 2012, a girl was shot on the bus on her way home from school at the age of 15. I'm going to tell you about education that is growing in that country, the past and present of women's rights here, and about the young girl who was shot. First, that girl's name is Malala Yousafzai. She started being a global activist in 2009 at the age of 12 years old. Her first blog entry was labeled "I Am Afraid." It talked about the Taliban and their control and why she was afraid and how she couldn't go to school or openly express. On October 9th at 15 in 2012, Taliban soldiers stopped Malala's bus, shot her in the head and two of her friends. All of the girls survived this. Even after being shot and receiving threats and being afraid, she still chose to be an activist. She still chose to fight for her equality. In 2013, she even gave a speech to the world leaders of the United Nations. She told them she would not be silenced. She would continue to work and continue to fight for her education and her rights as a human. In 2014, she became the youngest person to win a Nobel Peace Prize, and she now attends Oxford University in England. Now, think about our past, America's past. It wasn't until 1970, 51 years ago, that women could take command roles in our own military. And the struggles today, we still fight for equal pay for the same work that men do, as we did then. Now, think about women 100 years ago of America. Some were arrested by cops or beaten while protesting, or both arrested and then beaten in prison. Like Alice Paul in 2017, she was fighting for her right to vote, and they arrested her and beat her for this. Malala Yousafzai is sort of going through the same thing we did 50 years ago. She's my age. Could you imagine being 20 or 17 or 15 fighting for this right? Maybe possibly going to prison, possibly being shot, possibly being beaten half to death just because you want to learn, you want an education, you want all of these things, and everybody is telling you that you can't. And they don't really have a reason other than we're women. That's it. In the countries of Pakistan and Afghanistan, there is a strict rule almost everywhere by Taliban. There's a story called Freedom at Stake by Nahara Nada and Amy Ferris Rotman. It's an article about what Afghan women will become because of the Taliban. It's about fear and the fact that they still live under Talibans, even though America and all these other countries have gone to try and help, how they took control, and now they're back to recently being under that fear. But also, it gives you the story of this young woman who was a writer there, and after they took control, she got on a plane to escape or to move away, if you would like to say. She was fearful for her life. In this story, it tells a quote from a girl within this story. It says, I feel like I will die a gradual death here because she is afraid of the soldiers and they're coming and they're looking for for women who are working and for men who are supporting this. Afghan and Pakistan women are still fighting for basic human rights, to dress how they want, like we do, to speak what you want, like we already do, and to go where you want without permission or a supervision or some male to follow you around and say, hey, it's okay, she can do that. In conclusion, I hope that this has informed you about women's rights in the past and present in other countries such as Pakistan and Afghanistan, and why Malala Yousafzai is so important to women's rights right now, and why we should care, why that affects us.